Self-love is soul deep, not skin deep. Self-love is believing in you and the higher power of God. It's soul deep, not just skin deep. It's about loving the entirety of you, who you truly are, who God created you to be. It's becoming and being your authentic self in body, mind and soul, and the divine life force that connects you with God, the Spirit. It's living purposefully to take care of ourselves, not just our bodies, but our minds, to guard and nurture our hearts, our soul, to fulfill our life's vocation or calling, to foster meaningful relationships by loving others as yourself, to grow in wisdom and in our relationship with God, to build confidence in who we truly are. In the article Self-Love and What It Means by Jeffrey Borenstein, MD, describes self-love as: self-love is a state of appreciation for oneself that grows from actions that support our physical, psychological and spiritual growth. Self-love means having a high regard for your own well-being and happiness. Self-love means taking care of your own needs and not sacrificing your well-being to please others. Self-love means not settling for less than you deserve. Embracing self-love allows us to recognise and accept both our strengths and weaknesses. It lessens the urge to justify our imperfections and fosters compassion towards ourselves during challenging times. This journey leads us to become more aligned with our life's purpose and values, setting the stage for a fulfilling life through our own dedicated efforts. So how do we nurture our self-love? It's by practicing good self-care, acting upon what we need instead of what we want, being mindful, setting boundaries, protecting oneself, forgiving oneself, being true to oneself, trusting in oneself, having self-compassion and living purposefully. Self-care. When practicing good physical self-care, you will love yourself more when you take better care of your basic needs. People high in self-love nourish themselves through daily healthy activities. For instance, eating nutritious foods, exercising, getting proper sleep, building stable loving relationships, whether romantic, platonic or familial, and having healthy social interactions. All these activities support our long-term growth and vitality. Acting upon what we need instead of what we want. Focus on what you need instead of just what you want. It's a sign of self-love when you can choose to step away from something that might feel fun or thrilling and instead prioritise what you need to stay strong, balanced and progress in your life. By keeping your attention on your needs, you can break free from those behaviours that get you into trouble, keep you hanging on to the past, and lessen your self-love. Being mindful. Mindfulness is to live in the moment and reawaken oneself to the present, rather than dwelling on the past or anticipating the future. To be mindful is to observe and label thoughts, feelings, sensations in the body in an objective manner. Mindfulness can therefore be a tool to avoid self-criticism and judgment while identifying and managing difficult emotions. By becoming mindful, people who have more self-love tend to know what they think, feel, and want. They are mindful of who they are and act on this knowledge rather than on what others want for them. Setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is essential for self-love. When you establish limits or say no to work, relationships, whether romantic, platonic, or familial, or activities that drain you or don't align with your true self, either physically, emotionally, and/or spiritually, you create space for a healthier and more authentic life. Protecting oneself. Protecting yourself is a must. Surround yourself with those who uplift and support you. People who take pleasure in your pain and loss rather than your happiness and success have to go. Distance yourself from such people. Life is too short to spend time with those who seek to diminish the brightness of your spirit, reflecting self-love and a passion for life. You will love and respect yourself more for it. Megan Watterson wrote, "We do not need to give our power away to anyone, ever." Forgiving oneself. Forgive yourself. We can be pretty tough on ourselves sometimes. Whilst it's important to take responsibility for our actions, we can often end up punishing ourselves too much for our mistakes as we learn and grow. It's essential to accept that we're human and not perfect before we can really love ourselves. Try to be gentler with yourself when you mess up. Keep in mind that there aren't really any failures if you've learned and grown from them, just lessons learned. Being true to oneself. Being true to oneself means living in a way that matches your own values, passions, and who you really are. It's about knowing what you actually want, need, and believe, instead of just going by what others expect from you. It involves making choices that reflect what's important to you, even if those choices aren't popular or easy. It's about being independent and not letting what others think or the fear of being judged shape your life or decisions. It also means being honest with yourself, admitting your real feelings without making excuses. Plus, it's about putting your own happiness first and not compromising your well-being to fit into someone else's idea of how you should live. Being honest with yourself boosts your self-esteem, helps you set better boundaries, and cuts down on the long-term regret of living for someone else. Being true to who you are gives you freedom, but it does take courage to get there. Trusting oneself. Trusting oneself means really believing that you can count on your own judgment, skills, and ability to bounce back. It's about listening to your gut. If something doesn't sit right with you, then it's not for you. That's your soul, your intuition guiding you. There will never be a voice outside of you that is wiser than your soul voice or holds more authority over what is best for you. Megan Watterson. It's also about making choices that fit with your values and understanding that you can handle life's surprises without being too hard on yourself when things go wrong. Believing in yourself is all about trusting your judgment and knowing that you have the skills or the ability to learn what you need to overcome challenges. Honouring your inner voice means ignoring outside distractions and what others expect of you, so you can pay attention to what you truly want and feel. When embracing uncertainty, rather than trying to control everything in life, self-trust is having the quiet confidence that you'll manage whatever comes your way. Self-trust is important because self-confidence is believing in your skills, but self-trust goes a lot deeper. It is the foundation of authenticity, courage, and long-term well-being. Without it, you might constantly second-guess your choices, seek validation from others, or stay stuck in fear. Having self-compassion. Self-compassion is all about trusting yourself, and it doesn't require you to be perfect or always getting it right. It's more about knowing that you'll be kind, respectful, and graceful towards yourself, no matter whatever the outcome. Building self-love is all about nurturing a kind and understanding relationship with yourself. Being compassionate towards yourself is especially important when you're facing self-doubt, setbacks, or tough times. Everyone messes up and goes through difficult situations sometimes. That's just part of being human. When faced with these difficulties, resist the urge to criticize or blame yourself. Instead, give yourself some kind words and comfort because you totally deserve support and understanding. Work on talking to yourself in a kind way by pushing back against those negative thoughts and swapping them out for positive and caring statements. Self-compassion protects us from negative thoughts, self-sabotage, and pushing ourselves too far. It's important to recognise, though, that knowing what to say no to is just as important as learning when to say yes. Living purposefully. When you embrace living purposefully, you'll find it easier to accept and love yourself, regardless of what's going on in your life. Your purpose doesn't need to be perfectly defined. If your goal is to lead a meaningful and healthy life, you'll start making choices that align with that goal, and you'll feel proud of yourself when you achieve it. You'll boost your self-love by recognizing your accomplishments. It's important to set your intentions for how you want to live. Self-love is all about prioritizing our well-being in every aspect, physically, psychologically, and emotionally. But let's not forget about the spiritual side too. According to the Holy Bible, self-love isn't about self-worship. It's about appreciating your inherent value as a creation of God and protecting your heart. The scriptures remind us that a healthy self-love sets the foundation for being able to love others. Biblical self-love covers aspects such as your value and identity, loving others as yourself, guarding and nurturing your heart, the soul, and having confidence and purpose in life. Your value and identity, described in Psalm 139, verses 13 to 14, impacts how you view yourself in a few specific ways. Psalm 139 verses 13 to 14, the Holy Bible declares, "For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well." Declaring that you are fearfully and wonderfully made means you possess inherent worth because God sets a standard of what He considers wonderful. Your value is permanent and doesn't require earning or performing. Your identity is a beautiful tapestry, uniquely crafted by God. Remember, your existence isn't just a coincidence. Your true self-worth comes from your spiritual connection with the Creator, God, and not from what you achieve in the material world. Verses 13 and 14 from Psalm 139 are a personal, heartfelt outpouring from King David, expressing deep reverence for God's creative power. Verse 13 describes God intimately creating every human being, acting as a divine artisan who carefully shapes and weaves together a person's physical body and inner soul long before they are born. I praise you. In verse 14 is King David acknowledging God as the ultimate creator of our lives, naturally fostering a profound sense of gratitude and reverence. The word fearfully in verse 14 doesn't mean terrified or scared. It represents a deep sense of awe and respect, much like the feeling you get when you encounter a stunning natural wonder. It highlights the importance of honouring human life, acknowledging the fact that it originates from God. Wonderfully made in verse 14 means to be set apart, distinct, or marvellous. It implies that you are not mass-produced or an accident. You are meticulously crafted as a completely unique, one-of-a-kind masterpiece. Your works are wonderful. In verse 14 isn't only about humanity, it's about all of God's creation. Recognizing that our bodies and minds are remarkable in their design highlights the glory of the Creator, God. I know that full well. In verse 14, David goes beyond simply having knowledge about God. He expresses a profound, personal experience of God's goodness and purpose in his life. In today's world, where comparison and self-doubt can take over, this verse serves as a powerful reminder that everyone carries inherent dignity. It highlights that our worth isn't determined by looks, societal standards, or outside validation, but rather by the truth that we are uniquely crafted, or as per verse 13, knitted together by God. Loving others as yourself can be evidenced in the second half of Jesus' greatest commandment, where he states in Mark chapter 12 verse 31, the Holy Bible. The second is this: love your neighbour as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these. This verse provides the ultimate ethical summary for how to treat others. In the verse preceding Mark chapter 12 verse 31, Mark chapter 12 verse 30, the Holy Bible reads, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength." In this verse, Mark chapter 12 verse 30, Jesus makes it clear that our responsibility to God and our responsibility to others are deeply connected. When we love God, it naturally leads to loving those around us. Lord Jesus Christ breaks down barriers of race, religion, and social status, highlighting that a neighbour is anyone you meet. This includes strangers and even those you may see as adversaries, who deserves care, compassion, and respect. The as yourself standard isn't about being self-centered. It's about setting a healthy benchmark. It encourages us to support, safeguard, and nurture others with the same level of diligence, patience, and respect that we give to our own lives and well-being. Now let's talk about the essence of the law. This verse really captures the heart of all biblical teachings on how we should treat one another. It emphasises that when you prioritise the well-being of others, you inherently avoid causing harm, theft, or wrongdoing. Guarding and nurturing your heart, the soul, is applicable in Proverbs 4 verse 23 and Proverbs 19 verse 8, the Holy Bible. Proverbs 4 verse 23 says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." In biblical terms, the heart or soul is the centre of a person's inner life, encompassing your mind, will, emotions, and thoughts. To guard or protect your heart, it's essential to be deliberate about what you let into your mind and life. Consider your heart as a valuable property. You have to keep an eye on what gets through your gates, the content you consume, including what you watch, listen to, and read. For everything you do flows from it, means that your internal thoughts and emotional state will shape your actions. The feelings you carry, whether it's bitterness, love, fear, or wisdom, will determine the path and quality of your life. This proverb really emphasises the importance of self-awareness and setting boundaries. It encourages you to safeguard your mind from negative, toxic, or unhealthy influences before they can take hold and impact your behaviour. Now let's look at Proverbs 19 verse 8, which reads, "The one who gets wisdom loves life. The one who cherishes understanding will soon prosper." This verse highlights that pursuing wisdom is the ultimate approach to self-care. Genuine self-love goes beyond just treating yourself. It involves making wise choices that safeguard your future, help you avoid harmful decisions, and promote your personal growth. The one who gets wisdom loves life means when you actively pursue God's wisdom and intelligence, you are acting as your own best friend. You protect yourself from the emotional, physical, and relational consequences of foolish behaviour. The one who cherishes understanding will soon prosper means wisdom is not just something you acquire once, it's something to be treasured and cultivated. Applying this understanding to your daily life brings about prosperity, well-being, and genuine success. Ultimately, Proverbs 19 verse 8 highlights that focusing on divine wisdom is the best path to a blessed and fulfilling life. whilst avoiding unnecessary hardships. Biblical confidence and purpose come from a deep connection with Lord Jesus Christ, rather than stemming from personal ego. It's about embracing humility while actively serving our community, staying true to our beliefs, and recognizing the boundaries set for us by God, all while avoiding pride. Having confidence and purpose in life is depicted by what Paul the Apostle said in both 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7 and Romans chapter 12 verse 3, the Holy Bible. In 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7, the Holy Bible, Paul the Apostle said, "For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline." God equips us not with cowardice or timidity, but with the Holy Spirit's gifts of power, inner strength, active love, and self-discipline to face trials and share the gospel of the New Testament. Power in this verse is the supernatural courage and strength to overcome adversity and boldly share your faith, even in hostile environments. Love in this verse is the ability to look past your own anxieties and focus on serving, caring for, and prioritizing others. Self-discipline in this verse is having a sound, well-balanced mind, a sound mind, that enables you to make wise, controlled decisions rather than reacting out of panic. Paul the Apostle states in Romans chapter 12 verse 3, the Holy Bible, "For by the grace given me, I say to every one of you, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment, in accordance with the faith God has distributed to each of you." This verse instructs us to maintain humility and a realistic view of ourselves, warning against arrogance. It teaches that our gifts and abilities come from God, so we should evaluate our worth based on the faith He has given us, rather than elevating ourselves above others. This verse is the foundation that we can all work together in harmony without being divisive or competitive with each other. There's enough room in this world for every one of us. There are 3 key principles described in this verse: avoiding arrogance, thinking with sober judgment, and the measuring of faith. To avoid arrogance, Paul urges every one of us not to think more highly than you ought to think of yourselves. This warns against pride, self-importance, or an inflated sense of superiority over others. Instead of having an ego-driven or unrealistic view of your capabilities, to think with sober judgment is to be encouraged to embrace a sound, rational, and objective understanding of your actual strengths and weaknesses. We often find ourselves reflecting on the level of faith that has been entrusted to us. Remember, all faith and spiritual gifts are unearned gifts from God. God is the author of everyone's unique traits and spiritual responsibilities. Everyone receives a different portion according to His purpose. Because of this, there's no room for boasting or feeling superior to others in our community. These 2 verses really offer a solid foundation for a healthy, Christ-centered life. 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7, the Holy Bible, gives you the confidence and courage to act, while Romans chapter 12 verse 3, the Holy Bible, helps you find a clear sense of purpose and identity by grounding your self-worth in humility. So why then is self-love from a physical, psychological, emotional, and biblically spiritual perspective important? Self-love is so important in all areas of our lives. It contributes to our physical health by encouraging positive choices, strengthens our mental resilience, and fosters emotional stability while nurturing our self-worth. True self-love isn't about narcissism. It equips us to thrive, establish healthy boundaries by protecting our peace, and genuinely support the people we care about without burning ourselves out. In summary, self-care is essential for our physical and emotional health, and we can enhance our lives by choosing nutritious foods, exercising, getting quality sleep, and fostering meaningful relationships. Mindfulness keeps us grounded, while setting boundaries helps eliminate toxic connections, allowing for authenticity. Surround yourself with positive influences and practice self-forgiveness. Remember, mistakes are part of growth. Embrace self-love by recognizing your value as God's unique creation and celebrating your individuality. Protect your heart and mind by being intentional about what you allow in. Pursue wisdom and cultivate true confidence in your relationship with God, as this guides you toward a fulfilling life. Let's have the courage to embrace challenges, make wise choices, and uplift one another, as self-love is soul deep, not skin deep. Thank you for watching or listening. Please like, share, comment, and/or subscribe. Just remember, sincerity comes from the heart. So in all sincerity, from my heart to yours, I love you all with the love of Christ. God bless you.